It's not quite 9 o'clock, but Marianne told me that you and Mr. Bowditch were here.
Yeah, Mr. Bowditch is talking to his client in a breakout room.
Okay.
Yep.
Good morning, Mr. Bowditch.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Are you ready with Mr. Diaz?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe we are ready with Mr. Diaz. Mr. King? Where's this?
Yes, Mr. Bowditch.
I just wanted to say that we're going to set this for a final pretrial in which the complainant should appear.
All right,
Give me
that
one
sounds
moment.
fine.
This is 210526 SM, State of Michigan versus Pablo Francisco Diaz. Appearances?
Your Honor, for the record, Jeffrey Bowditch, 45367, appearing on behalf of and with Mr. Diaz.
And Your Honor, APA Larry King for the people, P78774.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
And
today's
Mr.
date-
Bowditch, I believe you were beginning to say final Marianne, I didn't get dates from you.
8/24 with Judge Green or 9/14, Judge Oakley.
Well, there's a bit of a complication on this. I will note that although for some reason this file is in my possession, this is not an intimate partner case. This is a other family member case. There's not an intimate partner relationship in this. I need to hand this file off to general prosecutions because this should not be with our unit. So I would have, is it possible to get that date set for a date with Miss Gillis rather than myself?
How long of an adjournment are you looking, or how far out do you want the final pretrial, Mr. Bowditch?
Your Honor, I don't believe it makes any difference.
So you want to do a final pretrial on a Jane Gillis docket, which will be a Wednesday?
Yes, Your Honor.
So Marianne, I don't know who is August 25th.
Judge Oakley.
August 25th, is there a time?
I was just looking at that right now. 1 second, please.
Thank you.
I have a bench trial in the afternoon, but I'll be there I can be there all morning.
$8:25 noted.
Let me, Marianne's getting a time for us, Mr. King.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Kentucky, it's APA King. How are you?
Judge, my
Hey,
password
just
got
letting
wiped
you
out on
know,
GIS.
I am on Marquise Single.
Mute
Yeah.
Mr. King, I can't hear you,
I
Marianne.
did, yep, I just did. Anyway, I got locked out. Marley's looking for a date for me right now. I mean, a time.
You want to do a third one, 10:45 on 8:25, but otherwise 8:45 is, but actually do 10:30.
10:30, Judge. All right, thank you, Marley.
10:30 on the 25th,
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
10:30 a.m. on August 25th with Judge Oakley. Anything else, Mr. King?
No, thank you so much, Your Honor.
Anything
Thank
else,
you,
Mr.
Mr.
Bowditch?
Not on Mr. Diaz, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Diaz, we'll see you back here on the 25th with Judge Oakley.
Okay, thank you very much. You guys have a blessed day.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, you
Diaz.
too, sir.
Thank you.
Are you ready with Mr. Tokars, or do you need a moment, Mr. Bowditch?
I would need just a moment with Mr. King.
Mary Ann, I'll have you moved into a breakout room. Good morning, Mr. Jadala.
Good morning, Judge Martin.
Why is that on a Monday, Mary Ann? I can't imagine.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird, especially that day, your live exam day. I don't know.
Oh, I know this file. Was that enough time with Mr. King?
Yes, Your Honor. Could I go
This is-
with Mr. Tokars?
Yes,
Into a
sir. Mr.
breakout.
Tokars, please join Mr. Bowditch in the breakout room. You'll see an
thank you.
invitation to join.
Jeff, it's breakout room 1.
Thank you, ma'am.
Marianne, I feel like that 30th is a bad day for some reason. I don't know. Let's see.
Marianne, I need to go back into that breakout room. Thank you, ma'am. Marianne, when Mr. Tokars comes back on, could you put us back in the breakout room? He left for a minute.
Oh, sure.
Thanks, hon.
You're welcome.
Actually, it's going to be Mrs. Tokars. And then Mrs. Tokars wishes to talk to Mr. King. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah, the complaining witness and I need a breakout room when she logs in.
Your Honor, in the Tokars matter, Mr. King wishes to speak with the complainant. That's what we're trying to arrange.
Here.
All right, Mrs. Tokars. Hey, Mrs.
And
Tokars,
I'd
you're going
like
to
the
go into-
defendant to not be seated next to her when I talk to her, especially since the defendant's represented. I don't
Yeah.
think it's proper.
Okay, so he can step in the other room, right?
Mr. Tokars should
Correct.
be in the other room. Yes.
Okay, very good.
And then Mrs. Tokars, you're going to speak with a Mr. King.
Mr. King?
Yes, he's going to be in the breakout room that you can join with him. And that won't be me, Marianne. That'll be Larry and Mrs. Tokars.
Okay, so.
Ma'am, you're gonna go into a breakout room with Mr. King, then you can speak.
Okay. So what do? I hit leave,
No,
ma'am.
you'll hit join.
join, okay,
As soon as it's on the screen, you'll just hit join.
okay.
It's breakout room 2, ma'am.
Breakout room 2,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. I don't see anything on my screen except the name Mary Ann. And
At the
then,
bottom of the screen, do you see a button that says, do you see a icon that says breakout or breakout room?
no,
Could be 4 little squares.
no. It says,
Mary Ann,
Yes.
mute, stop video, share screen, more, and leave on the bottom.
more?
3 dots above it.
Okay, wait, click more, and what comes up?
Click on to more.
Yes,
Says-
ma'am.
It says participants, invite, chat, join breakout room. The
Join
fourth
breakout
down.
room.
So
Yes,
click
ma'am.
click onto that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm doing that right now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Hey, Judge, you think you could pull Miss Tokars out of that breakout room? I don't think she can get out on her own.
Mary Ann will do that,
Well,
please, and thank you.
And then Mr. Bowditch and I need to talk again. Yes.
If you all can go back to that same, okay, she's out. Mary Ann, if that room is still open, they can go back in.
Okay, so am I out of the breakout room then?
No, ma'am, you're in the main session. You're gonna stay here with me. The attorneys are going back in to talk, okay?
Okay, so my screen says Mary Ann is inviting you to join room 2. I just stay where I am, right?
You say where you are with me, correct, ma'am?
Okay, this technology is kind of confusing.
It's different, and if you don't use it every day, it
Right,
can
right.
be a lot.
No, we don't.
But you're doing fine. You got in and you got out.
Okay, good.
Was that enough time?
Yes, Your Honor, we're
That's
ready. on
all we
Tokars.
This is 210378 SM, State of Michigan versus Stephen Paul Tokars.
Your Honor, for the record, Jeffrey Bowditch appearing on behalf of with Mr. Tokars.
And Your Honor, APA Larry King, Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, P78774, appearing for the people. And I will note the completing witness, Ms. Janet Tokars, is present on the Zoom today. Your Honor, after speaking with Ms. Tokars at length and reviewing the notes in the file from my colleagues as well as our victim's advocate, the people would move to dismiss this case without prejudice. I believe that is the express desire of Mrs. Tokars.
Defense says no
Mrs.
objection, Your
Tokars,
Honor.
would you get Mr. Tokars back for me, please?
Okay,
Thank you.
you can come back now.
Your Honor, what's this case number again?
210378 SM.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Okay. Okay, we're back.
Sir, would you state your name for me, please?
You're talking to Steve, right? Okay, state your name.
Stephen Tokars.
Thank you. Mr. King, the prosecutor just indicated that it is the express desire of Mrs. Tokars that this matter be dismissed without prejudice. Mr. Bowditch, do you have any objection to that, or was there any comment you wanted to make?
No objections, Your Honor, and no comments.
And Your Honor, if we could just have Mrs. Tokars confirm on the record that she does want this case to be dismissed.
Ms. Tokars, you had an opportunity to speak to the prosecutor this morning,
Yes,
and you are the complaining victim in the case that's pending before this court.
yes,
And you've indicated to the prosecutor that you do not wish to proceed in this matter,
yes,
and you're doing so freely and voluntarily.
correct.
You haven't been threatened in any way to
No,
get you to make this decision?
no,
And it is your desire to have this matter dismissed without prejudice.
yes, it is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mrs. Tokars. And with that, again, I would renew my motion to dismiss without prejudice.
Mrs. Tokars, Mr. Tokars, Mr. Bowditch, based on the statements made by Mrs. Tokars, this matter will be dismissed without prejudice. Mrs. Tokars, I will put on the record that the court is concerned only because there is a statement from law enforcement in the file that there have been 4 prior calls to your address with the same complainant and victim, that being you. That's all I will say about the matter. Inasmuch as the prosecution has moved to dismiss the matter without prejudice, there's no objection from defense. The matter will be dismissed without prejudice. Anything further, Mr. King?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything further, Mr. Bowditch?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. We're all set. Mr. Tokars, Mrs. Tokars, have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Bennett, Ronald Bennett for this morning. Mr. Bowditch, have you been in communication with him?
No, Your Honor, I haven't.
That was scheduled at 9 o'clock. If you can get a hold of him and get him here before we conclude the morning's docket, we'll hear
Yes,
the
Your Honor,
matter.
I have a number for him, Your Honor. I'll call.
Thank you much. We had a 9:10 trotter too, Marianne. I don't see anybody else other than Mr. Jadala. Mr. Bowditch, Mr. Bennett is here. Do you need a moment to speak with him? You're muted, sir.
I'm sorry.
Yes, Your Honor, please.
Mr. Bennett, you're going to see an invitation to join Mr. Bowditch in the breakout room. Please join him there.
Thank you.
The person who has Aristo 4+, can you hear me? Good morning, sir. What is your name, please?
You talking to me?
Yes, I am.
Eric J. Johnson?
Thank you.
Mr. Jadala, do you need to speak to Mr. Johnson?
I know, Your Honor. I had an opportunity to speak with Prosecutor King yesterday, and I just would like to ask him if what he told me yesterday is still true. If that is, Your Honor, then we're ready to proceed.
Your Honor, this is set as a final pretrial with the order that the complaining witness, Miss April Simonian, appear, and I would ask the court if she has appeared or is available.
She has not yet appeared in the participant list, but it's 9:27. The matter is scheduled for 9:30. This court allows approximately 15 minutes.
And
So, Mr. Johnson, just hang out for about 15 minutes and then we'll call the case again, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just hang up.
No, sir, just hang out. You can put yourself on mute and just wait about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Mr. King, I'm stepping off, but I'm not going far. So when Mr. Bowditch is ready, I'll be right back.
Thanks, Judge.
Was that sufficient time with Mr. Bennett?
Yes, Your Honor.
As soon as he comes up, here he comes. This is 210231 SM. This would be the state of Michigan versus Ronald Edward Bennett. Appearances, please.
Morning, Your Honor. Larry King for the people, P 78774.
Your Honor, for the record, Jeffrey Bowditch, 45367, appearing on behalf of and with Mr. Bennett by Zoom. Your Honor, today is a date and time set for a pretrial in this matter. We are requesting a final pretrial where the complainants must appear.
Would you state your name for me, Mr. Bennett?
Ronald Bennett, Ronald Edward Bennett.
Thank you, sir. Final pretrial, Mary Ann, that date is August 25th. I'm sorry, not August 20, August 24th.
At 10 o'clock.
August 24th, 2021 at 10 a.m. and that will be with Judge Green.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Complaining victim must appear. Mr. Bennett, I would note for the record that you have a payment plan with this office, with the court, that you are behind on. So if you could catch up those payments or contact the court's collection department.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything further in this matter, Mr. King?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything further, Mr. Bowditch?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
We're all set. Mr. Bennett, have a wonderful day, sir.
You too. You have a blessed one.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you, Mr. Bennett.
Judge, I'm stepping away for just a moment. I'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
I'm back, Your Honor. Sorry about that.
Thank you, sir. Mr. King and Mr. Jadala.
Yes, Your Honor.
This
Yes,
is 201098, State of Michigan versus Eric J. Johnson. Appearances, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Larry King for the people, P78774.
Respectfully, Your Honor, Sam Richardella, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Johnson, Your Honor, currently joins us with no objections via Zoom.
State your name for me, please, Mr. Johnson.
Eric J. Johnson, Senior.
Thank you. Today's the day and time set for the final pretrial in this matter. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I do not have a complaining witness present. It was the order of the court that the complaining witness be present. They are not here.
With that being the case, Your Honor, we respectfully request a dismissal on this matter.
Inasmuch as the complaining witness has failed to appear, this matter being scheduled for 9:30, it's now 9:45 by the court's clock. This matter will be dismissed without prejudice. Anything further, Mr. King?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything further, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. We're all set. Mr. Johnson, have a good day, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is 210607 SM, State of Michigan versus Michael Charles Trotter.
Yes, Your Honor. Larry King for the people, P78774.
Thank you. This matter was scheduled for a pretrial today at 9:10 a.m. It is now 9:46 a.m. by the court's clock. There are no unidentified persons in the court's virtual waiting room, and there's no one by the name of Michael Trotter in the court's main session. Mr. King, how do you wish to proceed? You're muted, sir.
First, I'll unmute myself, then I would move for a CAPE, yes.
Based on the defendant's failure to appear as ordered, CAPE shall issue in this matter. 5,010%. Anything else, Mr. King?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. This is 194190 SM, State of Michigan versus Patty Jo Mosham.
Yes, Your Honor. Larry King for the people, P78774.
This matter was scheduled for pretrial at 9:20 a.m. It is now 9:48 by the court's clock. There are no unidentified persons in the court's virtual waiting room. No one by the name of Patty Jo Mosham in the court's main session. Mr. King, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, I would move for capias in this case and note that this is the second capias. This case remained in capias status for quite some time previously. I would ask for no bond.
Did you say you would ask for no bond?
With the capias history, I can't think of a different way to assure the appearance in court.
I appreciate the argument, Mr. King. The court will issue bench warrant in this matter, 5,010%. This is 210586 SM, State of Michigan versus Heather Leanne Rosenbaum.
Larry King for the people, P78774. For the people, sorry.
Thank you, sir. This matter was scheduled today for a violation of the conditional bond. Ms. Rosenbaum, who has failed to appear this morning, there is no unidentified persons in the court's virtual waiting room. No one by the name of Heather Leanne Rosenbaum or any configuration thereof has appeared this morning. There was an offense date of July 17th, 2021 out of Van Buren Township, arraigned on July 19th, 2021. Defendant tendered a plea of guilty as charged on July 27th, 2021 with Judge Oakley, and was directed to go to probation for PSI and sentencing. The defendant failed to appear by failing to complete and return her information sheet to probation within the time allotted. And additionally, the defendant was charged in another county with another domestic violence misdemeanor with the same complaining witness as that which appeared in Judge Oakley's case. Based on her failure to appear this morning, Mr. King, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, I would move for a capias, request a bench warrant be issued.
Bench warrant shall issue 10,010%. Anything else in this matter, Mr. King?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Jadala, we don't have anything else for you this morning.
Thank you, Judge. May you and your staff have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Same to you, sir.
Mr. King, have a good day. Mr. Bowditch, of course, have a wonderful day.
Thank you,
Mary
Mr.
Ann.
Jadala. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Jadala.
This is 201090 SM, State of Michigan versus James Edward Tanner.
Good morning, Your Honor. Larry King for the people, P78774.
Your Honor, for the record, Jeffrey Bowditch appearing on behalf of, but it doesn't appear with Mr. Tanner. I have no excuse for his absence, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, based on the defendant's absence today, I would move for a capias to request a bench warrant be issued for his arrest.
This matter was scheduled this morning for 9:30. It's now 9:52 a.m. by the court's clock. There are no unidentified persons in the court's virtual waiting room. No one by the name of James Edward Tanner in the court's main session. Based on the defendant's failure to appear this morning, bench warrant shall issue 5,000, 10%. Anything else, Mr. King?
Nothing further for the people. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Bowditch?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes this matter, and that concludes the court's docket for the morning. Thank you both, Mr. King and Mr. Bowditch, for your time
Always
this
a
morning.
pleasure,
Have a
Judge.
wonderful day.
Always
Mr.
a pleasure,
Bowditch,
Your
we'll
Honor.
talk again soon. Thank you
Talk
all.
again,
Everyone
Mr.
have a
King.
great one.